The residents of Wraysbury, just north of London, have been amongst the worst affected by the floods which have hit Britain hard over the last few weeks. When the nearby River Thames burst its banks, they were left to protect their homes by themselves. The authorities were nowhere to be seen. The River Thames is just over there to the right, and because of the heavy rainfall recently, it effectively has burst its banks. And because of that, many of the residential streets around me are now completely flooded. And many of the people who live here have been forced to evacuate their homes. Derek Banks runs a boat tour business and lives right next to the River Thames. His property was badly hit by the floods, and although he prevented the waters coming into his house, he couldn't prevent damage to the cottage in his front garden.
If the Dutch or the Belgians are consulted, the professional people, they can immediately get the river dredged, and that's the first step that needs doing. A lot of that can happen very quickly if it's done by the Dutch or the Belgian contractors.
After much criticism, the government did eventually mobilise the army to help the village residents with flood defences. But by that time, huge damage had already been done to properties in the area.
Up to Monday, when we started seeing all these houses being taken out with the floods coming up from the river, no help was around from the environmental agency, from the services, from the police, from whoever what we needed. It was all being organised by local residents. It was all focused back to Cameron and his government. Come on, guys, wake up. We'll get the army down here. We need them. We need sandbags. You know, let's put a defence mechanism in ourselves. There's only so much we can do before we're not trained to do this kind of thing.
After a slight pause in the bad weather which has blighted Britain, more storms and high winds are predicted to be on their way. Across the UK, around 56,000 properties remain without electricity. Many schools remain closed, and transport links have been disrupted. Like elsewhere in Britain, the residents of Wraysbury are bracing themselves for worse. Roshan Mohammed Salih, Press TV in Wraysbury.